Done wrong, it can be an absolute nightmare, with kittens even dying. But just a few simple strategies and tips can make raising foster kittens the most rewarding thing you've ever done. And I spoke to Nancy Peterson from the National Kitten Collective to find out more.
What's the first step in, raising a healthy kitten?
Knowledge, knowing what to do, right? And so very important. I was scared to foster my first kittens, and I have never fostered bottle babies, kittens who I have to be nursed with a bottle and stimulated to urinate. I do feel that I could do it, but it's so much more intensive because depending on their age, you are waking up every few hours. They have to be fed, they have to be stimulated to eliminate. And the older I get, the more I need uninterrupted sleep. So I foster for the weaned kittens, meaning they can eat solid food. And I thoroughly enjoy it. And everything that I've learned from the National Kitten Coalition has helped me to be a better foster. It's how I've learned to recognize, as well as my background, of course, as a veterinary technician, something's not right with this kitten. It's helped me to understand not just medically, but part of the very important is socializing them. If they're from outdoors and they haven't had much contact with people, they may be frightened of people, they may be frightened of toys, they're frightened of things that they're unfamiliar with, which even includes your foster kitten room. So you have to gradually gain their trust. I'm really a fan of letting them set the pace. I don't force myself on them, but I lure them with treats and wand toys, and pretty soon, it could take 3 weeks before they're lying in my legs and comfortable and rolling over. And that's the most rewarding to me, is taking a kitten who is frightened and doesn't trust people and turning them into a little love bug that just be a wonderful, wonderful pet in somebody's home.
Yeah, absolutely. What the rewarding work. And it doesn't always take that 3 weeks. Sometimes they come around much faster. I guess it depends on that, the mother's situation, if there was a mother, and what those early weeks involved. I guess talking about whether there's a mother or not, does that make a difference to the work that needs to be done? I mean, obviously we think of feeding, but is there anything else that we need to think about with regards whether mother's present or not?
Well, the mother teaches the kittens so much, and whether the mother is afraid of you, that can get transmitted to the kittens as well. So sometimes, when there's a feral, I'll say a very feral mother, it might not be fair, I would say, to keep her confined with the kittens.
Yeah.
Although she can give the best care. If she's so stressed out, she might not be able to give the best care. But yes, mother cats can do the job so much better than a surrogate human mother. They can nurse them any time of the day or night. They keep them clean. They stimulate them. They teach them to use the litter box, although really nobody needs to teach a kitten to use litter box. If you provide the appropriate material, they will use it. And, she cleans them. And when the kittens are together, that's so important too, because they learn how to modify, it will say, their behavior, so they're not being too rough with their siblings. So when they're really playing rough and one of them, okay, that was a little, I'll back off. And this kitten starts seeing that mom's eating food and they'll imitate her. So having a mom is really wonderful. I've had 3 moms with kittens that I've fostered, and it's just been delightful. They've been wonderful moms, and to see how well they take care of their kittens. The sad part is when the kittens go back to the shelter, they fly out the door, and mom cat is waiting and waiting for her chance for a good home.
Just jumping back into that stimulation to toilets, and I think that's something that a lot of people won't be aware of is a need for young animals, for most young animals. Can you talk to us a little bit more about what you mean by that?
Sure. So nature is very intelligent. Kittens cannot urinate and defecate on their own because that's a way to keep the nest clean. If the nest is dirty, it could attract predators. So mom cat has to actually lick the genitals and the anus of the kitten to get them to get them to urinate and defecate. She eats it and it's all clean and nice. So when we people are acting as moms, then we have to take a very soft, maybe cotton ball or a cloth or a tissue, And before we feed them, if they're bottled babies, because they need to be stimulated till they're about 4 weeks of age. After that time, they can go to the bathroom on their own.
Yep.
So yes, until that time, if we are caring for them, we have to take a little soft cloth and gently put it on their privates and not rub it, because that would be very irritating. But we actually make contact with the skin and we kind of just move it around in a circle, and we keep doing that until they have finished urinating and defecating. Now, they'll usually urinate every time that they're stimulated, but they may not defecate every time, maybe every 12 to 24, sometimes even 36 hours, depending on how much they're eating.
But the final step is to learn exactly how to feed foster kittens so they don't just survive, but they thrive. And you can find out how in this video linked on screen. So tap on that video. And until then, I'm veterinarian Dr. Alex. This is Our Pets Health, because they're family.